Hi everyone. Have you ever thought about aging or how to grow old without falling apart? Well, if you have, this is for you. And if you haven't, listen anyway because you might learn something new. My name is Matitia, aka Miss F.E. Adeniji, author of TruthAboutHealthExposed.com, here to tell you the story behind the book. Now, I've been a pharmacist, an NHS pharmacist, for several years now, and was inspired to write this book by events that I've encountered on a day to day basis in my job. Now, my role as a pharmacist largely entails making sure medicines are used safely and effectively. In addition to this, I also try to prevent their use inappropriately and help patients to prevent them, help patients to avoid them in the first place. Over the years, I have encountered a number of patients who seem to be unaware of the link between some of their behaviors, their beliefs, and actions with actually developing or dealing with a chronic long term disease. This has made me question, and indeed, I would ask you to reflect on this question as to what your perception of health is. You see, this is where the health journey starts because your perception will tell you how healthy you are, what you can do to improve your health. And one of the problems I think a lot of people encounter is that their perception of health is limited to fitness and 5 a day. When I say 5 a day, I mean taking 5 fruit or veg a day. This, I feel, is an oversimplistic view of health. And this viewpoint was reinforced when I started delivering talks within the community because a lot of people came up to me to ask me questions that helped me to realize that we in the health sector really need to address people's perceptions and beliefs around health because that's the starting point for change, which a lot of policies try to instigate. The book, I believe, and I may be a little bit biased because I wrote the book, but I genuinely believe it's unique and different from many other books that I certainly have seen about health because I've intentionally gone deeper and taken a very holistic approach by covering a wide range of factors surrounding health or influencing health, as well as providing a detailed overview of health in its entirety. For example, I have written about antimicrobial resistance, which many people purely associate with inappropriate use of antibiotics, but which I believe can also be tackled by a number of individual actions that we can all take on a daily basis. I have also written about the need for people like you listening and myself to invest in our health because the reality is that the NHS is changing and under a lot of pressures, and I think just as we invest in properties or invest in things to make sure we can have a decent life when we get old, is the same way we need to invest in our health. I have obviously written other chapters like how to apply your faith and belief to your health in a constructive way, and many others. So whether you're a health fanatic or you're just starting your health improvement journey, this is a book that I believe will give you a much deeper insight as well as priceless information on how to help you on your health improvement journey. It doesn't just end there, however. To reinforce the content of the book, I'm a practical person, so I have also developed a number of tools to support you, or which I hope will support you in your health improvement journey. The first of which, for example, is a health plan, a general health chart, which I developed and used myself whilst I was writing the book because I didn't want to just give you something that I hadn't tried out. And in this book, in this chart, sorry, I have on this column, you'll see goals loosely based on things I read about the book and things that I felt I needed to work on for my own health. Some of the barriers that I was likely to face in achieving those goals. And I did it over 3 months, because I think 3 months is a good time to get yourself into the flow, to also assess if the plan's actually working for you, and really to, get an outcome and to see if it was effective. So after every month, I look at what I'm doing. I ask myself, am I on track? If I'm not on track, why am I not on track? Month 2, I try and improve things, and so on. And at the end, I look at the outcome and whether I've achieved the goal. So for example, I felt I needed to lose some weight I'd gained over Christmas a year or so ago, which seemed to be a little bit more stubborn than usual. The barriers to that for me was the fact that I drive a lot for work, which means that I don't get to walk as much as I would like. And exercise routines were becoming a bit inconsistent because there were some cancellations in where I used to go and, play tennis or what have you, or exercise. So month 1, I abstained from wheat as well. I wasn't really as much on track as I would have liked to, because I wasn't as consistent. So month 2, I stepped up a bit. I eliminated wheat on weekdays, limited my carbohydrates to 3 times a week, once a day, and reduced my portion sizes. I also balanced my intake of vegetables with fruits, because I was taking a little bit too much fruit prior to that. Month 2, I was a lot more, things were going in the direction they should. I was on track, although I felt some of my portion sizes could have been a bit smaller. Month 3, I was full flowing. And the outcome of that was I lost 2.7 kilos. Now, normally you should aim to lose 0.5 to 1 kilo every month. So for me, I felt it worked for me. So I kind of carried on. I also did a physical health chart, and the physical health diary was more about my diet over a week and the amount of activities I gained. So things that are relevant to your physical health. Most times during the week, in the morning, I would have porridge, maybe some fruit with juice. I'd have a morning snack, which would be an apple, a carrot, or an oat bar. And for lunch, I would generally have maybe a really plain, like cucumber, carrot, tomatoes, and maybe a fruit. A couple of times a week, I would just have salmon and vegetables for dinner and an evening snack. Weekends, I kind of, allowed myself to have whatever I wanted within reason. And that was the diet I followed. And in terms of activities, I managed to get in 300 minutes a week. You should normally aim for 150 minutes minimum. But if you're looking to lose weight, you really need to be doing a lot more than that. So that was what worked for me. And like I said, I'll put this on the website for you to have a deeper look. And also I'll put a blank copy so you can download it and try it out yourself. And let me know how it goes. Right, so in addition to those plans, I was really fortunate during this process because there were some key experts and people that gave me their time for free. And I've developed some videos and podcasts with them to also reinforce content of the book. And those are in addition to what's in the book. So it's not repetitive. It goes in hand with the book. And the plan is I will aim to share at least one of those every week so I don't overload you with too much information. The first one is part 1 of a series of videos I did with a well-known NBA player who's now a psychologist. It's really fascinating. We were meant to speak for 20 minutes and we ended up speaking for a whole hour. So, I really would encourage you to watch those videos. There's some vital things you can learn. So if you haven't, make sure you like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, Matitia at TruthAboutHealth, and I will upload past episodes on the website in case you missed them on Facebook or Twitter. So be sure to stay tuned and make a note of the website, which is www.TruthAboutHealthExposed.com. Oh, lest I forget, proceeds of the book will be going towards WESI, Women Elite Sports Empowerment Initiative, which is a non-profit organization that believes in tapping into the power of sport and using it as a platform to improve the health and well-being of hosting communities. It is an organization that believes in creating opportunities for women to learn and compete to ensure that the full benefits of sports can be harnessed by them and their communities. The book itself can be gotten direct from our publishers or Amazon, and links to both can be found on the website. If you get it from the publishers, you get a better discount than Amazon. So stay tuned for more, and thanks for listening. Bye-bye.